SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Running a business is tough. If you're struggling with HR, benefits, and payroll, you're not alone. Many businesses just don't have the resources to keep up. That's where MWG Employer Services comes in. We provide a full range of employer services with everything from payroll to benefits to HR services and compliance, and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget. We're a Mississippi-based company that can help you focus on what you do best, growing your business. Call MWG Employer Services today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com. You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
He's back. Welcome in on this Monday, Sports Talk Mississippi. So glad that you guys are with us. This literally just came across my timeline.
I don't know how long I'm going to be back. There is a thunderstorm happening outside this building. And so at any moment, I could get zapped.
We're going to lose you.
It's
Again.
possible. It's possible.
I mean, if that studio gets a lightning strike and we can't get you back on the air, I mean, it'll be just like last week. It was really nice.
It won't be any different. It was a different Tuesday. I was here.
You were here on Tuesday. You will be here tomorrow, and I will be here.
Yeah, you'll be
there.
Here, but that's there for you.
Coming up tomorrow on the second leg of the Not Fall Camp Tour. Hadad's been hard at work getting a really quality guest list together, and we're just excited to see you. Upstairs at the landing, Hadad, will we be outside?
We're supposed to be, yeah.
Shorts day for your boy.
Yeah, like the upstairs part is outdoors. There is a roof over part of it, but I mean, it's outdoors.
Ooh, we're going to be hot. And the show's going to be great. Looking forward to that. We got a lot to get to. 2 teams on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days, both of whom are very familiar to you. We will talk about that. We've got winners and losers to get to. John David Baker did his one and only press conference anyway. So we'll have that for you. Kamario Taylor talked over the weekend. We will have that for you. Archie Manning getting a statue. And SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings got injured in training camp. He's going to be okay. He has a finger injury. But Kevin Jennings is going to do his recovery and rehab at the on-campus, medical facility that they have, that all teams have, that is named after him. So Kevin Jennings will be doing rehab in the Kevin Jennings room for recovery and rehabilitation. College football in 2026. It is something else, but this show is going to be fun, and we're glad that you're here.
We are glad you have joined us in the Pearl River Resort Studios. Pearl River Resort, who, of course, is bringing you the Not Fall Camp Tour. Come check us out tomorrow in Starkville, and you can get some great gifts from Pearl River Resort. How about a free night stay? How about a free meal at Philip M's, one of the best restaurants in the state of Mississippi? What about a round of golf on the house at Dancing Rabbit? It's all right there for you at Pearl River Resort. Come see us tomorrow at Starkville in the Landing for the Not Fall Camp Tour presented by Pearl River Resort and PearlRiverResort.com. C-Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. With C-Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C-Spire store today. C-Spire, inspired by, I should have said this on Tuesday, and then never said the thing, and then I could have brought it back today. And we could have had a full, 7 days without it. But anyway, you!
Somebody says, to start the show, I know what you all said about Logan Diggs the other day, but I saw that Xavier Harris was waived by the Saints. And Logan Diggs, a bit of a different story. But my question for that, Hadad, because he's been tweeting. The former Ole Miss running back that transferred from LSU got hurt. You know his story.
I do.
My question, because fans have been asking, well, can he come back? Is what's his role? What's his role?
There are a lot of college football players out there right now that, they could come back, but why?
But he wouldn't have a role on this team at all, and they can't transfer. Transfer rules have not been stayed. And with Xavier Harris, it's the same questions that we raised with somebody like Jerron Manning. We talked about him. He signed a pro contract. He was paid by a professional team. He did the pro football things. And Tennessee has a linebacker that's missing 2 games because he had one single flight paid for through an NFL agent, and he got suspended for 2 games. Maybe, and I say maybe, you could find a local judge, I'm sure, to help you out to get that lifted, but I don't know. There's so many hurdles to jump for a guy like Xavier Harris to come back and play football in college. I just don't see it happening. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm misreading this. It just doesn't make any sense.
And there are a few schools. I think Southern Mississippi today announced that they've got 3 players coming back as a result of this. I just don't see how it's not a distraction at this point. Like, I get that the talent infusion. And look, maybe it's a little different for Southern Miss because you've got so many new faces and so many position battles. You need all hands on deck. I get that. For a team like Ole Miss, I would not want to upset the apple cart right now. All right? Fall camp has started. It's time to start getting ready for the season. You want to get back into the college football playoff. Why would you do anything to upset anything at this point, to upset the balance? You've got a great defense. Yes, it would be incredible to get Xavier Harris back for another season. He would add a lot to your team, but there's a chance that it subtracts as well.
There's a chance it subtracts. There's a chance that, look, roll your eyes about the local judge thing. The NCAA has legs to stand on when it comes to rules about players that have turned pro. Like they can defend that and win. And again, you're seeing it in some places where players are going to get a friendly local judge to get it done. I assume that could happen here.
And I agree with this person on the C-Spire text line. Can't ever have too many defensive linemen. You're right. But
are you sure you can get this one eligible?
And is it worth the headache? And is it, if he comes back into the locker room, is it just going to be immediately? Here's the thing. Somebody that was expecting to start is going to look at that and go, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be my spot.
I've been here all summer. I went through the spring.
Exactly. I've done everything that's been asked of me, and now you're telling me, we're bringing this guy back? That can go wrong. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if it's worth it. I just don't know.
Well, and Harris got hurt as well, and you don't. I know he's been with an NFL team, but he got cut 3 weeks before cut day. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the best sign in the world either. Especially when the Saints had a defensive tackle get hurt for the season during training camp, and so you would think that would have been an opportunity. But it's just, there's a lot of hurdles there, and maybe they can work that out. I don't. Again, the NCAA has suspended a player successfully for getting one flight paid for. I think that they can go defend themselves in court on stuff like this and win. That they can defend this. They've been able to defend this. They can't defend transfer rules. They can't defend players getting paid, but they can defend a player turning pro, getting a pro contract, and coming back to school. They have successfully defended themselves against that. I just don't know if you take that on. I don't know if it's worth it. Some guys that never got a UDFA deal, some guys that never got drafted, that's a little bit easier, right? You can justify that. Indiana has a defensive lineman that got hurt during their run to the national championship that never signed a pro contract because he was injured, and so that was easy for them to clear because he never actually got paid by an NFL team to play. So they cleared him quick, and he's back to school because he didn't violate any NCAA rules there. Yeah. I don't know, especially this close to the season. It seems like that won't be a common thing across the board. You will get some, but not that many.
Some, but not many. And we asked Levy about it last Thursday, and he basically said, "Look, I'm going to focus on the guys that are here. If that changes, I'll focus on those guys when they show up." But I don't think coaches right now, especially football coaches, by and large, are not too terribly worried with that. Again, I think with Southern Miss, it's a different situation. You've got so many new players. You got to have some guys come back. that's a huge blessing for them. They needed that.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, State to a certain degree, there are some players that State could bring back that would help. If State could get Jerron Manning back for another year,
he would help.
If they could get Malik Silla back for another year, it would absolutely help them. And then you have Ole Miss, where it's like, we're a preseason top 10 team in the country. It would be great to get them back, but do we want to risk upsetting the apple cart? I don't know if you do or not.
What are y'all's thoughts on State and Ole Miss both looking to add 5-for-5 guys in basketball? It's a totally different answer. I don't know if desperate is necessarily the right word, but these are two teams that they need to win this season and do whatever it takes to win this season. And the season hasn't, they're not in training camp right now. The season doesn't start until later in the fall. Yeah, you got to go do that. Chris Beard and Chris Jans cannot afford to have a bad season. They need to win right now.
They do. You
haven't started preseason camp yet. You got to go get who you can get right now.
100%. Yeah, I don't have an issue. Again, a little different situation there in that there's still so much time before the start of the season. You got months to bring somebody in, get them acclimated, as opposed to weeks. Opposed to, in reality, it's days for that. So, yeah, different situation. And, of course, still got to get those guys. Don't know that those things are going to happen.
Yeah, Will Wade presently has 4 players on his active roster as the semester begins. Now, they're trying to clear a bunch of international guys, and they'll find a way and make that work. But on their roster, they don't have a starting 5 yet. They don't have 5 to fill the starting 5. So basketball's a huge mess with this 5-for-5 thing, but they will figure it out. Camp has been going on, and so we'll talk about it. If there is anything noteworthy, we're still new. It's still very new. We haven't been able to see them have a real practice yet. But what are we hearing? What's going on? We'll talk about that a little bit when we come back.
From the Talk Mississippi, your all-access pass to all things sports in Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you.
Welcome. Will Whitson.
Camp has not been going for a particularly long time. They're just now really putting on the full pads.
And today was practice number 4 here at Mississippi State. So.
Anything, though, noteworthy that you're hearing about camp? Is there any injuries that have popped up? Anything good, anything bad, anywhere in between that you've heard from Starkville so far?
Nothing injury-wise to this point, and obviously you knock on wood for that kind of stuff. But as far as I know, everything good on the health perspective. I talked a little bit about it today on the Thunder and Lightning podcast. If you go back to us when we were at Media Days, I told you that I thought that was a very confident group that State brought, that they really and truly believed in what they're doing this year and that they're going to be successful. And in the times that I've had the chance to talk to Lebby, which I've talked to him twice now, including one interview that you'll hear tomorrow for the non-fall camp tour, the confidence is still there. And I had a chance to speak to Anthony Evans, talk to a couple other players. You're going to hear the interview with Kamario in just a little bit, from the press conference the other day. I think they really and truly believe they're going to be successful this year. Now, does that mean anything in the long grand scheme of things? I don't know. I've said it before. I thought last year's team wanted to win, whereas I feel like this year's team really does believe they're going to win. Talking to Lebby, a lot of competition. There are some spots where the starter, you kind of have an idea, right? To say the least. Like Kamario Taylor you can put his name into the lineup card. Kelly Jones, Isaac Smith, some guys like that. But around the lineup, especially on the offensive line, I think he likes the competition. I think he likes that the options that he's got. Would love to have some more depth, no question. Needs to find, maybe a couple of more offensive linemen so that you can have a full complement of them. But I think that by and large, from the Mississippi State perspective right now, they believe in what's happening there. And I think they believe they're going to be successful. And like I said, I don't know that last year I got that same vibe as much from this group as I have thus far this year.
And, I mean, I wonder if being so close, which close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades, I guess, but they really weren't that far off last season. 2 years ago, they were a disaster.
Right.
Last season, they really weren't far away from being having a totally different narrative about the program as a whole.
And I think that, that can go both ways, right? Like, obviously, it should give you some confidence that, hey, if we can improve just a little bit here and a little bit there, we can win those games next year. But also, it should give you some motivation of hey, we could have, we would have, could have, should have, but we didn't. This year, we have to make sure that we do. So, in the moment, obviously, and we were talking about the 2025 season, those close losses you can't take those as positives. But when we're talking about the 2026 season, there's a way to look at that. Maybe I'm straining a little bit here, but there's a way to look at that as a positive to go, okay, those games, they happened, the results happened the way that they did, but we can take from that and believe that we are so close. And we, this year with Kamario and with the improvements we made and with Zach Arnett, Mississippi State can say we can do better. So we'll see if that's indeed the case in just a few weeks. But I think they really, truly believe it.
Somebody's asking if the Aiden Williams hype is real.
Well, it was, there was a lot of Aiden Williams hype last year, and there was a good bit of Aiden Williams hype at Ole Miss when he was there. And
the physical tools are just through the roof.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt that physically he's got everything you want. It's going to be about, for whatever reason, you hear so many times about players that they're terrible practice players, but when the lights come on, they deliver, right? Aiden Williams is a little bit of the opposite of that. He shows out in practice, but then when the lights are on, it's just not the same guy. State would love to have Aiden Williams show up, the guy that, was one of the top recruits in the state coming out of his senior year of high school and was so highly recruited. He ends up at Ole Miss. Everybody had kind of penciled him in as that, the next guy in that lineage of Dante Moncrief and A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf and all the Mississippi receivers. Now he's at Mississippi State. He's going to have that opportunity. I think he and San Francisco McGee is one of the better position battles that State has going on. Two Mississippi guys battling it out. Anthony Evans is going to be there in the slot. The other side, is it going to be Marquise Johnson? Is it going to be Zion Ragens? I don't know the answer to that. The guy who's going to sort of fill the Brennan Thompson role. State would love to get a third receiver in the mix, and Williams is going to have a lot of opportunities to do that, but he has to start showing up when the games are happening.
Will Womack be a starter?
Not to start the season, I don't think, but by the end of the season, maybe. He's just such a good athlete.
Yeah.
I talked to Isaac Smith earlier this week, and I should have dropped the question in about Braylon Womack just to find out his thoughts on him. But I mean, when you recruit a guy of that pedigree, you don't normally not play him unless you're just unless you're 2012 Alabama out there or something, and you're stacking up 4-star guys. State doesn't have a lot of guys like that on the roster, so I expect to see him play a lot. But starting week one, probably not with Isaac Smith, Jordan Gilbert, Marcus Williams. You just got some experienced guys there that'll probably get the start up.
Yeah, is Rashada the backup? Another question.
I don't know. We haven't asked much about QB2.
Doesn't it depend on the circumstance? If Kamario rolls an ankle in a game and State's leading by 10, don't you throw out A.J. Swon out there and just let him manage the game to the end and then figure it out?
Swan is probably QB2, just more experience. But, with Rashada, it's such an interesting prospect, right? It feels this is a guy that was a huge recruit just a few years ago.
$13 million player, according to Florida's Collective.
Well, and I think there's some talent there, but I at the same time, he might never take a competitive snap for Mississippi State. He may play some late in some games. But, is he going to be the quarterback, when? You got Kamario for at least the next 2 years. And then, after that, who knows?
Yeah.
So I think at that point, Rashada, unless start just giving away free eligibility, which we might do that. So we'll see.
People, the Facebook is getting people again. Hey, Dad, somebody sent me a article asking if it was true about. It said Jaden Rashada's presence in the locker room has disrupted team chemistry at Mississippi State, and he's become a big problem. But more specifically, because he is in competition with, I think it was Isaac Smith. It was either Isaac Smith or Kelly Jones that he is currently competing for a spot against, and it has disrupted the locker room.
I'll send a quick text off, and we'll get an update on that. I wasn't aware he had moved to defensive back. God.
It's completely destroyed the locker room.
Hail State gridiron showing up over here. Here we go.
I mean, my goodness. So he says, I need Hail State Diamondback ASAP. I really do. I mean, the problem is you'll see 40 comments of people believing it, but those do crack me up. Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
Until you realize that a lot of people are falling for it. Then it's a lot less funny because they believe it. But, I mean, I got a good laugh reading it. Like, yeah, Rashada's blowing up the locker room. Sure, yeah, he's going to play DB over Kelly Jones. Yeah, sure. Sure he is.
I'm trying to find it here. I can't find this article. I wish I could, though.
It's in my DMs. I'll send it to you.
Send it over to me. I want to have a laugh myself.
Speaking of, On3 got him right. So On3 released their All-American team. Trinidad and Lacey both on the first team. That is not surprising. They're getting that, or sometimes Trinidad will be too because of Arch or whoever. But some love shown to the Ole Miss players. But they've been getting, hype and love, those two guys in particular, this offseason. As we talked about, the SEC media just got Kelly Jones wrong. And a lot of people, frankly, are getting Kelly Jones wrong in their preseason teams and rankings and stuff like that. Not On3. He was first team All-America from the On3 preseason All-American team. Somebody got him right.
You left off one more Rebel.
Oh, yeah, Carniero, the kicker.
3 Rebels on the first team offense, and then Kelly Jones on the first team. That's where he belongs. I'm sorry. I just, that's the hill I have to die on. I'm willing to die on. Kelly Jones is the best cornerback in college football. Hill. I'm willing to go there. So I think he'll prove it as the season goes along. 2 SEC guys in the secondary there with him and KJ Bolden from Georgia. I had both of them on my first team ballot for the All-SEC team, so no surprise to see them on this All-American team.
I sent you that article. You can get a laugh. Somebody says, Ace Reese buying a hotel in Lamonas arguing with Trump on Gutfield are classics.
Yeah, Brian O'Connor buying the hotel was the one that got me, where he was treated badly, and he came back the next day. He was like, I've bought the hotel. Because that's how purchases happen. It happens the exact next day.
I believe it.
Yeah, why not?
We will move north a little bit to Oxford when we come back.
From the scene, what's happening in Mississippi sports, you'll hear about it first, right here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you. Not Fall Camp Tour tomorrow in Starkville. You will hear from, all of the power players there. You'll hear from Chris Jans, Brian O'Connor, Jeff Lebby, Zach Selman. Got, a lot to get to with Zach Selman. I do want to ask him, and I will ask Keith Carter the same next week, which remind me to call Keith Carter this week.
Hey, Borkey. I'm going to give Keith a call. He's probably listening. Keith, call Borkey.
I want to ask them if they have considered or thought about the possibility of collective bargaining. Are you sick of watching nothing happen? Because nothing's happening. And are you in line with Danny White at Tennessee? Hey, guys, maybe this is how we should do things because Congress ain't helping us. But otherwise, a lot going on and going to be great conversations and a lot of fun. Hey, Dad, I sure hope you have stuff to give away because we gave away basically everything last week for Southern Miss fans.
That was everything?
No, it was divided. I'm kidding.
Okay.
We have.
That sounds like I can make a couple phone calls.
We have we have the same amount for all three.
No problem. If you show up to the landing, you can get a free photo with me and Michael Borkey. No problem. No questions asked.
For sure.
We'll give away all we can.
We certainly will, and we're excited to see you guys there coming up tomorrow.
All right. So what's up in Oxford? What's the word from the what's the word on the street from the preseason camp?
Similarly to how you put it, they haven't had that many practices yet. So in terms of anything truly significant that has changed the conversation about the team, not really. I do think that they like what Jaheim Otis has been since he's arrived, really. There's a guy that was at Alabama. Pete Golding recruited him to Alabama. He went to Colorado to that disaster and apparently has kind of figured out that if I don't get it right now, I ain't ever going to get it right. And has kind of like that part has really clicked, and he's starting
there's a similarity with him and Aiden Williams. Like, this is it. This is the last go-round. It's either get it done or get ready to learn how to sell insurance.
You know?
No offense to insurance salesmen.
It's a great gig.
But, yeah.
But it's not football. Luke has healthy. He admitted himself that he tried to rush back last season, probably earlier than he should have. But he's 100% and looks and feels that way. You continue to hear great things about the defense. Defensive back is an interesting position now for Ole Miss, I think. I don't know if they have any first-round pick defensive back right now. I don't know if they do. Jay Crawford, probably the guy that's the closest to that, but there's a real chance that they have 4 or 5 guys that they are very comfortable with playing that are like capable, quality SEC defensive backs. Braxton, healthy, fully. You return him and Antonio Kite as well. You have Crawford there. They like that room. It's probably a little bit deeper than they anticipated and deeper than the room last season. Again, I don't know if they have like a true like elite, put him on an island and he's going to go get drafted in the top 15 next year type guy. But the rotation is apparently pretty darn solid there. And in terms of offensive line, it's Trez Davis is going to play tackle, and they like him. It's right tackle that is the concern. Kern is practicing, so he's still around and he's practicing, and so they have that body there. But that is the position. Circle, underline. I mean, I think right now you would be safe to bet your mortgage on Davis, who was with the program last year, who's the Maryland transfer. And then Kinsler, the Miami transfer. But as we played for you last week, Pete Golding was very open and honest. Hey, he flashes a lot, but he's got to slim down. He is not his body's not the way it needs to be.
An Ole Miss offensive lineman or me? Who is he talking about there? Somebody asked Golding about me?
But he's like, hey, if you're going to play in this league, you can't carry extra weight, and he's carrying extra weight, and so that is it's camp. Everything sounds good coming out of training camp. Everybody's awesome. Every player's great. Everything's this and that, and they're working hard. And strength and conditioning's been awesome. And a lot of things sound really, really good about that team. But the other tackle spot is one that is going to be a question until proven otherwise.
Yeah, they made the world's most poorly kept secret like a true thing today about Kewan Lacey having off-season surgery. I think that.
So we asked him about that at media.
That was one of those things that, and
he said that he.
Like, I think everybody knew that it was one of those things where like, but they haven't said it.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows.
Yeah, he played the playoffs with a labrum injury.
That's a tough son of a gun. That is not a pleasant injury, especially when you're a running back. You're leading into the hole, putting you put your shoulder down, try to break a tackle. Could not have been a fun experience for him those last 2 games.
Imagine that Miami, especially with how physical that Miami defense was with a bum shoulder. Also, I do think
he's just sitting there like, I don't really mind if we lose. It'll be okay. I just need to get to the doctor.
John David Baker, you'll hear from him coming up later in the show, said something that we've been talking about really all offseason, that Kewan Lacey's carries, the amount of carries are going to go down. They need to protect his body better than they did last season, especially in games when you're playing Charlotte. You don't need to give Kewan Lacey the football in the fourth quarter against Charlotte. It's just reckless is what that became. Baker said, they expect his carries to go down, but his touches to be about the same. Mm-hmm. People are interpreting that as him returning punts.
Oh, that would be a terrible idea.
He's going to catch the football out of the backfield.
Yeah.
That is something that he is or was not used in that way last season, and I think that they're going to incorporate a little bit more of that this season with Kewan Lacey for two reasons. One, because get your best players the football. Find ways to get them the ball. Kewan in space is really darn good, so get him the ball in space if you can. And I do think there's a secondary reason for that, because that'll help his NFL status. The NFL wants to see him catch the football.
Right,
because in the NFL,
he's a three-down back. Yeah.
Your backs have to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So you'll hear more of that coming up later. But I do think Kewan Lacey's going to factor into the pass game more than he did a season ago, which, again, didn't make last season wrong. I do think they used him too much in games late that they didn't need to, but they're just going to enhance his usage some, and he's going to catch the ball at the backfield a little bit.
Any injury news from Oxford?
I don't think so. No, I mean, nothing significant. Has being healthy is the most, noteworthy. Patrick Kudus is fully healthy. That's noteworthy. But nothing yet. Knock on wood, Ole Miss fans. Knock on wood. State fans as well, because we mentioned that they're healthy too.
Yeah.
So far, so good on that front.
That is good news. What about just from the Golding perspective? Based on what you're hearing, are there any real differences outside of the head man? I mean, does it feel like things are it's still kind of an extension of last year without the drama? Maybe
it's very similar.
Yeah.
And to Pete Golding's credit, he admitted that at the end of last season that it's not broken. The program is not broken. Mm-hmm. So don't go fixing what's not broken. Multiple players have said that practices generally feels the same. The way the program operates has not changed a whole lot. I mean, there's little tweaks, like they threw out the basketball goal. That's not a thing anymore.
I threw mine out as well, so that works.
Well, good. I'm glad you were able to do that.
I actually gave it to a small child, so that didn't go to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Influencing people.
Yeah. I never actually dunked on you guys, too. That made me sad. I had it. Nobody ever set me up with a lob. So,
but no, largely most things are generally
so let me ask
similar.
You this then. Is that good or bad?
I think it's good.
Okay.
Because it worked. The program
it does work. At the same time,
there's little tweaks. Things are a little bit different.
So Golding is
putting
a stamp on things, but it's not. I got to come in here and completely rearrange everything,
right?
Because that would have been a huge red flag in my opinion.
Mine too.
You went to the college football playoff, you were a game away from the national championship game. Change as little as you can, because like you said, what you're doing is obviously working.
Yeah, and to Lane Kiffin's credit, you got to give credit where it's due. Half the team last year was already operating under Pete Golding's vision for practices anyway. Lane Kiffin hires a defensive coordinator, and that's your job. You go do that over there. You are the defensive guy. I'm not going to meddle. He doesn't meddle. And so half the team is already used to doing it the way that they're doing it now to begin with, because Pete Golding got to design the defense and really wasn't, as I understand it anyway, maybe I'm wrong. If you are more knowledgeable, tell me on the text line. But I believe that Lane kind of let his assistants, specifically the defensive coordinator, kind of go do their own thing. So there's not much that needs to change because this was already his design anyway.
Yeah.
At least on that side of the ball. So, and you'll hear John David Baker in a little bit talk about, he says, what we've been doing over the last 6 years. Because remember, he was part of that staff. It's interesting. not too much has changed. But they did throw away the basketball goal. Needed to do that. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Did you think that the people over at Texas Tech would stop talking? Because if you did, you would be wrong.
I wouldn't have bet on it. Yeah!
Nailed it. Joey McGuire, speaking of On 3, was complaining
No relation to Lizzie.
No. Although, I guess she's making a comeback. Hillary Duff's
making a comeback? I wasn't aware.
She is selling out arenas all over the country.
Oh, she's singing?
Oh, yeah. She's doing this tour, and she's selling out. And
good for her.
The wives of a couple of my friends made the trek to go see her, and it was a sold-out arena. So Hillary Duff, Lizzie McGuire is apparently a thing again.
Make it happen.
But he is complaining that nobody wants to play his team. He specifically named Texas A&M. That turned down a neutral site opportunity with Texas Tech. USC, NC State, and Mississippi State for canceling future games against the Red Raiders. He said, quote, "We're talking to everybody and anybody so far. Everybody has told us no."
I mean, I don't think this has much to do with the whole Brendan Sorsby thing. It's just as much as everybody's looking for wins, right? If you're in the SEC and you've got to play 9 SEC games and you have to play a Power 4 team, why would you want to play the best team outside of the SEC and Big Ten? That's what Texas Tech is right now. That's the best program outside of the SEC and Big Ten. Why would you want to play them? So,
until the playoff committee weighs strength of schedule appropriately, everybody, and that includes people from your league, are going to consider stacking wins instead of stacking difficult schedules.
Yeah, no question. And
I don't blame Mississippi State for not wanting to play Texas Tech right now. I don't blame them at all.
When that deal was signed in I think it was 2015, 2016, the programs were pretty much on the same level, right? State was coming off of the DAC years. It had some really good years. Fitzgerald was going to lead them to a couple of bowl games. Coming after that, you still had Mullen. And Texas Tech was, kind of a year in, year out, 6, 7, 8 win team. And so that schedule, it made sense for those two teams to play. Things have changed in that time frame. And never mind Mississippi State, taking a step back. Texas Tech has taken a massive step forward. So yeah, if you're Mississippi State, and I'm pretty sure that schedule was for. I think that I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was for 28 and 29, right? So they got Minnesota these next 2 years, and then the next teams up was Texas Tech. Well, you look at Mississippi State's schedule, and we already know, right? We know they're going to play Alabama, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss. And they will also have to play Tennessee and Georgia and Florida and Texas A&M and Arkansas and Kentucky. And I'm missing somebody. I'm not sure who it is. But, they got to play those games. Why would you put Texas Tech on your schedule? You wouldn't. And you can call it what you want, if you want to say, well, State's, chickening out. At some point you just got to do what's best for business. And playing that game is not best for Mississippi State in any way, shape, or form.
Somebody says if they call Southern Miss for $2 million, I'm sure we would go play them. Hey, you know what? Blake Anderson needs to say that publicly. Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
I'll come to your place. You don't have to come back to mine. I'll come to your place. $2.5 million, and we'll see you there.
Yeah. $2 million, we'll do a home and home. 2.5. Hey, a knockoff. We'll come in. That's it.
Yeah. And that one game will pay for most of the football team in rev share. There you go. Boom. Done. Although I guess Southern Miss will be at Auburn this year. Not scared of those Golden Eagles, but I do wonder. Every conference has incentivized not playing strong out-of-conference games. Look at Penn State's schedule. Look at Indiana's. It's so bad. It is just so bad. And that is ultimately a disservice to the fans for not getting great games, but I don't blame Indiana for scheduling the way they do. Look at what it brought them. Penn State's going to be a playoff team this year, I think. Because if they're not with their schedule, even with the first-year head coach, I mean, what happened? You need to be. Mississippi State's going to be at Minnesota.
Yeah.
Plus 9 games. Ole Miss is playing Louisville, who weren't ranked by the coaches. I think the AP is going to slip them in there at a neutral site. You don't want any more than that.
Tomorrow on the Thunder and Lightning podcast, we talk a little bit about Jeremy McClain's comments about the Mississippi State Southern Miss series. You know, looking ahead. If you look ahead at 2030, when State is scheduled to go to Hattiesburg, State already has a game scheduled with Tulane. They're going to play an FCS team, and they're going to play a Power 4 out-of-conference game, right? There's no way that game happens with Southern Mississippi. It's just not possible unless you don't play an FCS team. Those are your only options there. So, yeah, it's just this is what college football kind of is right now, where you're just having to fit. You know, we talked for years about how our football teams should schedule. You know, COVID showed us you can put together a schedule real quick if you want to. Maybe we're going to get a little taste of that now with all this stuff getting canceled and moved around.
What did you like from the weekend? What did you not like from the weekend? Send them in on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395, 601-879-4395. Winners and losers. After the news, we'll be back.
The best sports talk in the state.
It's the best thing.
Say that again.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Back here on Sports Talk Mississippi, Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey with you here on a Monday, just getting this week started, which means the weekend was just in. Did you get the grass mowed? That's the question on everybody's mind right now. It's been raining off and on throughout the state. It's tough to get out there. You got to make sure you're winning the battle against the grass. All right, don't let your lawn mock you. And if it does mock you, it'll shut up real quick when you show up with that brand new John Deere zero-turn mower from our friends over at Ag Up. And right now, Ag Up is making it easier than ever to own the John Deere mower that you're looking for. And if you've got the big job, you've got the huge tract of land, a John Deere compact tractor with 0% financing right now on 1 through 4 series models, that will get the job done. Doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it. Doesn't matter how big a piece of property we're talking about. Ag Up is here to help you find the right machine for your property and for your budget. Stop by your local Ag Up equipment location today. There's 15 of them across the state, so they are local. Or you can just visit agup.com. Ag Up Equipment and John Deere, built for what's next. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. It's Monday. It's 4 o'clock. You know what's up. It's winners and losers.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. I'm a loser, baby. We got winners. We got losers.
Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser.
Winner never win. Winner never.
What'd you like from the weekend? What did you not like? Let us know on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. Michael Borkey, if you would please, tell us your winner.
A local example first. Centurion Perkins was given the Chucky Mullins Courage Award over the weekend. A rare player, it seems, in today's college football. A 5-star, stays in his home state, multi-year starter, and never left, even though there was a coaching change in the middle of that. Now, I believe he was Pete Golding's first commitment when he took over as defensive coordinator at Ole Miss. So there's some deep roots between the two of them. But, a handful of guys deserving of that award, I think, that kind of fit that mold of guys that have been there a while, multi-year starter, those kind of things. But it ended up being Sonny P. and well-deserved. I will say I don't know what his plans are in terms of whether he wears the patch or the jersey. I do have a take on that, though. I think that the jersey needs to be worn in every game that Ole Miss football plays for the rest of time. I think that it's just too iconic of a thing, too great of a story, too important to the fabric of the program to let that be a patch deal. So I hope Perkins does actually wear the jersey because I think that jersey needs to be on the field. Mm-hmm. But either way, he deserves the honor, and good on him. Again, multi-year starter from the state, 5-star kid, didn't transfer after coaching change. Those are rare in today's college football.
No question. That's a good choice. And the 38 at Ole Miss is a good tradition. Almost everybody, not everybody has one of those, I should say. LSU has, 7, right? Is there a big number? Or is
I believe
18?
So.
It's 18 is their number, I think.
I thought it was 7.
Is it 7 or is it 18?
I think it's 7.
I might text Jacob Hester.
I'm fairly certain it's 7.
Now you got me. Now I got to do a Google search. What is the traditional number at LSU?
7 and 18. We were both right.
We were both there. Okay. So, yeah, I like that. My winner is just all of us. If you were within the sound of my voice, I tweeted about this on Thursday night, but now that I'm back, if you're within the sound of my voice, you have lived to see another football season. We are here. Football is here. We got to watch a game. By the way, winners, Carson Beck and Haynes King. Look like prime Brady and Manning out there at the Hall of Fame game. Carson Beck looked really sharp.
He really did.
There's no reason he can't win that starting job. Let's not forget that 2 years ago, Carson Beck was your preseason 1-1 in the NFL. The talent is there.
He took Miami to the national championship game.
He absolutely did. Let me tell you something. I was fired up watching him, too. I was like, look at Carson Beck. This is great. He's giving him the shoulder. He's throwing the deep ball. He's accurate. I was like, don't be surprised. Just don't be surprised. Yes, football is back. Every year on the Hall of Fame game, I do this thing in my house where my wife will be in another room. I'll be like, hey, come in here. I need to show you something. And she'll come in, and I'll be like, look. And she sees there's football on. And she's like, no, not already. Well, this year my wife was out of town. She was in Mexico with some friends. So I just took a picture of the TV, and I sent it to her. I was like, we're back. Football is back. We're all winners.
7 million people.
I was one of them. I watched that game into the third quarter. I was just like, it just on. I wasn't really locked in, but I kept looking up and I kept seeing Carson Beck making plays. I was like, this is great.
7 freaking million people.
It's good stuff.
That game.
It's good stuff. We love football here in the great American people.
So some people took exception to this. I thought it was hilarious. Now, there's 2 main quotes coming out of Adam Vinatieri's Hall of Fame speech.
Fantastic. Come on.
One of them involves Pat McAfee. I don't know if I can play it. I think it's just a little too far.
Don't do that one, no.
But he decided to take a friendly jab at his former head coach, who he has deep respect for. Guys being dudes, taking some shots. But this is really funny. Some people didn't like this. I laughed so hard when I heard this. This is Adam Vinatieri at his Hall of Fame induction speech.
I would repeat those last few statements about Coach Bill Belichick as well. Thank you for demanding excellence every single day. Your preparation, discipline, and attention to detail shaped far more than my football career. Unfortunately, Bill couldn't make it here today. There's a lot going on at UNC right now. He may be on a recruiting trip right now looking for the next Lawrence Taylor. I thought it was because training camp had already started. But in truth, it's because he's judging his girlfriend's cheerleading competition.
Oh. I think Vinatieri has seen what the success that Pat McAfee's had. He's like, I could do that. I had a better football career. I'm a Hall of Famer. Why is that? Why him and not me?
So, Vinatieri's the reason Pat McAfee got his first appearance on College Game Day. Vinatieri couldn't go. He was invited to be the guest picker, and he had McAfee go in his place, and McAfee did his thing, and that's you're welcome for that. But the other joke he told,
a little more risque.
Couldn't play it, but he obviously married a super cool woman because she was laughing about it.
There you go.
But he was awesome. Drew Brees' was excellent. It was more
I want
emotional.
to make Drew Brees my other winner here. When he talked about that he would have died for the city of New Orleans, that's my guy. That is absolutely my guy. I saw the clip from Wake Up Barstool today. I never thought I'd want to fight Brandon Walker so much. I thought that was my guy, but I guess not. I did reach out to T-Bob. I was like, anytime those guys want to throw down, you just call me. I'll be there with you. Drew Brees is, in my opinion, the most beloved athlete by a certain fan base in the world. No athlete is as loved by his fan base. Maybe in a few years, Jalen Brunson could get there with the Knicks because they are absolutely super high on him right now. But it's so much more than just football when you talk about him coming into New Orleans when it was at its absolute lowest and lifting them up and bringing them a world championship. There is no athlete like that in sports, in my opinion. There are athletes who've won a lot more, no question about that. But in terms of what they mean to their fan base, he is number one. So Drew Brees in the Hall of Fame, much deserved, an absolute winner. You got a loser?
Mark Zuckerberg, although he apparently was not on his yacht when his yacht ignored a call for help in Alaska. So, the drama started on Monday when a cruise ship took a detour, which, by the way, Alaska cruise, if you can go. It's amazing.
Okay.
A 21-foot boat in southeast Alaska made a call seeking assistance. And a cruise boat decided to respond to that call and help the boat, ultimately towing them to safety. The captain of the cruise boat announced over the intercom, he was letting people know what was going on because people have trackers and stuff where the boat's supposed to go, and obviously it made a detour to help somebody, and people on the boat were like, what the heck's going on? Captain comes over the speaker on the cruise boat and says, hey, we made a detour to help somebody. Mark Zuckerberg's yacht was actually closer, but he did absolutely nothing to help, is what the captain of the cruise boat announced to everybody.
Who was surprised by this?
Apparently the boat started booing and all that stuff. Zuckerberg's yacht, $300 million worth, 387 feet, called Launchpad, was closer. Now, the Coast Guard is saying that the boat did not call a mayday or anything, which is how Zuckerberg's boat is going to be able to get out of any kind of trouble because I believe it's law, what is it, maritime law, that if you hear a distress call and you are the closest vessel, you must respond to it. And so that's how Zuckerberg's, the captain and the people on board of the yacht are going to get out of trouble because it wasn't a distress call. It was a call for assistance as opposed to like we're sinking.
Whatever.
But Zuckerberg apparently not on board, but his yacht did not respond to a call, and a cruise ship did instead.
All right.
Losers. We'll be back in just a little bit. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Now we have a special surprise for everyone.
Give it to me. More Sports Talk Mississippi right now on Super Talk Mississippi.
I gave my loser. Do you have one?
I do. I just learned about this today, but I've done a little look into it. The Buffalo Bills are my loser. $2.1 billion stadium in the year of our Lord, 2026, and you've got these kind of obstructed views. Have you seen these pictures?
I've seen the views, and I've also seen that the 400 level does not have bathrooms.
Oh, I hadn't seen that. Throw it on the list then. How do you build a $2.1 billion stadium and not everybody have a perfect view of the field? That's insane to me. You just came out of a stadium that held 80,000 plus that was built in the 60s, and nobody had any problems looking at the game there. This is unreal how bad some of these obstructed views are. And I'm just gonna go on a limb. The tickets ain't cheap. You build a $2.1 billion stadium. I expect the season tickets are quite costly. I would be furious if that was me. I mean, we're talking about, some of these shots, you can't see 30 yards of the field from where you're sitting. That is just unacceptable.
And apparently, in the seat selection process, the people that picked those seats were not made
not
aware
informed.
that they were.
I mean, this one, there's one right here. I guess you're right next to a speaker. You literally cannot see from the 20 down.
That's insane.
So I just don't know how that happens in this day and age of football. Like, how do the architects slip this through? And this is the Bills, one of the most fan-friendly, vibrant fan base teams in all of sports. How do you screw your fans over like that? Gosh almighty, that's a bad one. So that's my loser, is the Buffalo Bills.
And even the people that didn't have obstructed seats, I saw a lot of media stadium reviews, and basically they were like, it's fine.
Oh, that's no good.
Imagine that being your take about a brand new, over $2 billion stadium. That's fine.
Yeah, like I went to, what is it, Energy Field? What is it called, where the Texans play?
NRG.
I went there in 2013, so that stadium was 5 years old at that point. And I was like, man, this place is unbelievable. What a facility. And
you get that when you walk into Mercedes-Benz Stadium too.
Yes. But it's fine is not one. $2.1 billion should get you a little bit more than it's fine.
And the video boards are tiny.
That's what I heard. Like the scoreboards are smaller. Like how? Why are we downsizing the scoreboard? I don't get it. I don't get it. So Bills losers, bad omens. Luckily for them, they play in the AFC East.
I will say, I think video boards are getting too big. Like what Auburn's done is just ridiculous.
But they shouldn't get smaller.
They should get smaller.
Yeah. Like what Mississippi State and Ole Miss have now should be the standard. That's a good size video board.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
You can go a little more if you want. Yeah, Auburn's is it's big. Auburn's is so big it feels like they're compensating for something. It's like one of those, why does he drive a truck with no muffler? You know why.
Yeah. Winter Spider-Man movie took the kids, and it was awesome. I've heard great things about the new Spider-Man movie. We have not gone to see it. I think we will soon. Problem is it long? Because Marvel movies are starting to get long, and I
don't know.
Here's what I don't understand. The new Spider-Man guy has to make his own web shooters.
Correct.
What's the point of getting bit by the spider if you can't make your own webs?
Well, you have all the other. You have the spider sense, and you can climb the walls.
But you're an ant. Might as well be Ant-Man.
Well,
without the webs, you're not a spider.
Taken. There is an Ant-Man.
Right, but without the webs, you're not a spider. You're just a bug.
It is interesting that only Tobey Maguire of the three of them has the ability to just shoot the webs out of himself, which is what I always thought Spider-Man did.
It's what they should do.
Yeah, I agree.
Over 2 hours. That's kind of pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Darren, winner. Oh, gosh. Enos Freedom and Royce White. We talked about that a little bit last week, more on Mornings with Richard Cross.
I'm glad I missed that.
Basically, hey, Dad, my take was, more on Mornings with Richard Cross and Gerard. I do think if
the WNBA should have told Royce White, been like, yeah, we'll be happy to have you on a tryout. Get on a plane and get out here.
Yeah, the league has totally failed its opportunity to have what Tiger Woods did for golf. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And people should leave Caitlin Clark alone in terms of, now people are poking on, try to get her to take a stance, and if she doesn't want to, that's fine. Shut up and dribble is a totally fine stance to have. And she wants to take that.
It's funny how that's flipped, but that's, again, more on crossing the line.
Loser, WNBA altogether losing right now.
It is interesting that they have this iconic player that everybody wants to see, and
they've blown it. They blew it.
Basketball made some changes to get people excited for basketball, right? You used to be able to hand check the hell out of people and all that. And they changed it. And what happened? The games got more exciting and you had more football. You used to be able to murder people coming over the middle, and DBs could just do whatever they wanted. They changed it. The games got more exciting.
More fans, more money.
Take care of the stars. Quarterbacks, do they get coddled? Yeah. Who do you go to the games to see? The quarterbacks.
Yeah, go look at the jerseys of the kids walking into the stadium.
So it's crazy that they have this superstar player who's brought so much positive publicity to their sport, and they just seem intent on running her out of the sport. Every day I expect to see, Caitlin Clark announces retirement from WNBA. something like that coming out. And she's probably made enough money that she could do it.
Winner, this is from Lucas. Michael Brennan, not only did his win yesterday at the Wyndham get him in the FedEx Cup playoffs, next week it got him into the Masters next year. When celebrating with his mom and dad, his eyes got real big, and he blurted out, "I get to play in the Masters next year." Yeah, that was a really cool moment. They kept saying, "We're going to the Masters. We're going to the Masters." That was awesome. Loser. Hey, Dad, you're going to have to help me with the pronunciation of a couple of these. J.C. Marin Howe,
I gotta find
soccer player from...
I got to find the text. Who said it?
Well, did you see the video of the Brazilian soccer match?
The guy who fell into the hole?
He jumped into a hole unknowing that there was a hole there?
That's a tough one, yeah. No,
he just disappeared. Is he okay, by the way? I never actually saw him.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's a bad one, though.
Apparently he was hurt bad and the goal got overturned.
Yeah, and VAR got him, too, so all of that for naught.
Winter football is back.
It is back.
Somebody says, my celebrity deathmatch winner would be my guy Hadad against Brandon Walker. Breeze is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. No matter what, the city of New Orleans would elect him mayor tomorrow. It
was such a weird thing.
What a weird hill to die on. And then the other guy on the show saying that Drew Brees' impact on New Orleans is equivalent to Steph Curry's impact on, quote, Golden State, end quote.
Yeah.
That guy, he should have his driver's license rescinded for even thinking they're on the same planet.
Kind of bothersome.
Oh, I hate that a lot more.
Yeah.
To have that opinion. Golden State's not a city, by the way, you moron.
It's not even a state.
Yeah, it's... He has had no...
The Warriors are like the second most popular NBA team in their own state. What are we talking about? Impact.
I mean, this... all of you know it, but the fact that people can have a sports platform and think that Drew Brees had just a typical athlete impact on a city... is just ignorance.
It's all it is.
Crazy town. Somebody says, hey, Dad, I'd put Steelers linebacker Jack Lambert up there with fan adoration equal to Breeze.
No.
I thought about it because we talked about him a little bit last week with the Hall of Fame game coming up and stuff. I don't think that there possibly could be an athlete that did for a city what Breeze did for New Orleans.
Agreed.
And I'm not just saying
Jack
that
Lambert, great player, but the Steelers have so many Hall of Famers.
Well, they also didn't have a natural disaster where most people in the city thought the city's we're never coming back from this.
Right.
Without if Tom Benson would have moved the team,
you couldn't have.
The city's not recovering.
And not only that, you almost couldn't have blamed him. That's one of those times where it'd been he might be in the right to move here.
I mean, this place is underwater.
Yeah.
People are never coming back to this. That was the feeling back then.
Yeah.
If there's a book, I want to read more about that. If there's a really good book about the crossover between the two, I'd love to read it.
Yeah.
Loser, Laramie Tunsil's triceps. That's from Kelso, the Commanders fan. Yeah, he's going to miss some time.
Oh, goodness.
And that's a huge loss for the Commanders. He's been spectacular as a pro.
Got to keep Jaden Daniels, healthy.
$2.1 billion in New York doesn't buy the same as down south. No,
you might be right. But even so,
obstructed views are unacceptable, and no matter what the cost of the stadium was. Winter Hall of Fame game. It was electric, and people watched more.
It was actually a good game. The game itself was good.
The Hall of Fame game was watched by more people than any Major League Baseball game this year. And
silly.
Any so NHL game this year, including the Stanley Cup Finals and all.
It's crazy. But it is what it is. The NFL, it clears, as the kids say.
A few more of your winners and losers when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Sports Talk Mississippi is back.
This is it.
Super Talk Mississippi.
messages on the text line, 601-879-4395. I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. Somebody says Spider-Man making his own web shooters is true to the comics. Well, I won't step into that
I
realm.
thought in the comics he just came out of his arm.
Then how did Tobey Maguire get to... I don't like the web shooters thing. What's the point of a superhero if I think it was Marty that said, you might as well be Batman at this point. If you're having to make your own stuff.
The difference is Spider-Man is poor. Batman.
Well, not the new one. He's not. He has like this...
What, did he inherit all of Tony Stark's money?
I guess. Somebody says, start time on the ticket was 1:30, got out at 4. Okay, I don't know if a 6-year-old is going to be able to manage that without some breaks and stuff like that. Imagine the PGA players being mad and trying to bully Tiger Woods when he first came to the tour. Fuzzy Zeller did, but no.
How'd that end up? Yeah.
I mean, we talked about that last week some, but that's where they screwed up, and I don't know if they'll have the self-awareness to look back and realize they screwed up. Is when Tiger Woods entered the scene in golf, he was different, right? He looked different than your typical golfer, obviously. He acted different than your typical golfer. He had a little less decorum, right? He cussed. He slammed clubs. He had an edge. He brought an intensity to the game that you typically haven't seen, and he brought an audience to the game that nobody was capable of bringing without him. I mean, he was totally different, and broadcasters and everything, they circled the wagons and they made everything about him to the point where, like, traditionalists got frustrated because everything is about Tiger. Why? Well, because he brought in an audience that they couldn't get otherwise, and still to this very day, because of Tiger Woods, golfers are making more money, even pre-LIV. I know LIV screwed up the economics as well, but all these guys are wealthy beyond measure, and they have one person to thank. But the tour did a good job of wrapping their arms around that and making him the show. And everybody got rich as a result. And other players got popular because what could have happened with the WNBA is, well, I'm tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark tonight, and then you see Asia Wilson play. It's like, that girl rocks, you know? And they did not do that, and therefore they're going to have missed the mark. Somebody says Michael Jordan to Chicago had a similar impact. What did Chicago go through that the existence of the Bulls and them having success changed the fabric of the city?
A few texts like that, I don't disagree that these guys are beloved. The difference is what was happening in New Orleans at the time is unique. Chicago was Chicago when Michael Jordan arrived. Also, let's not forget, Drew Brees arriving at that moment. When Chicago in 1983, when Jordan arrives in Chicago, what's going on in Chicago? Nothing. They won the Super Bowl 2 years later with the Bears. Their fans were great. It's just a different scenario.
Yeah, it most certainly is. So that's a little sampling of the text line for winners and losers. Why don't we knock out, because we got 2 to get to, so why don't we knock out one of the teams on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days?
This day is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
100 teams in 100 days.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It's the final countdown.
We will go to and stay in the SEC for both teams on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. This one, a relatively new member of the league, team number 20 on the countdown. The Missouri Tigers. Still kind of feels odd that Missouri's in the SEC, but they have been playing some pretty solid football under Eli Drinkwitz. Also has one of, if not the best journalism schools in the country.
Don't worry, they'll tell you.
They will let you know. Don't you worry about that. I still remember a piece that Stephen Godfrey wrote. There's a name for the past for some of you. Used to be a regular guest on this show. About going to a Missouri game while the Cardinals were playing a playoff game. And so he was walking around, and there's a bunch of dudes wearing red. And he was like, what the heck's going on here? Bunch of Cardinals fans walking around the tailgate locked in on the Cardinals game, and nowhere else in the SEC do you have an experience quite like that one.
The Braves could be in Game 7 of the World Series. If Georgia was playing the same day, the Georgia fans at that game are not locked into the Braves.
No, not at all. So an interesting place. But again, they play good football, and they currently play it, is it Faroe Field? I know they call it the Zoo.
Yeah.
And they have just finished a bowling in of one of their end zones, a really nice-looking renovation there at the stadium. For a while, it was architecturally odd. They had the track, but they filled in the track and made it tall and weird, and they had the rocks in the end zone. They're fixing all that. It looks nice, and they've done a really good job of making that a difficult place for opponents to go play. 75,298 is the current record capacity. I believe that can and will get broken with the new renovation, but I don't know. We will see. Eli Drinkwitz, been the head coach at Missouri since the COVID year. Can you believe that? He's entering year 7 as the head coach at Missouri, and he's had a nice run. Weird start, 5-5, 6-7, 6-7, but then 11 wins, 10 wins, and last year had an injury to the quarterback, had issues with Missouri. An 8-5 season, so a down year, looking for a bounce back. They started off strong. They started off 5-0 with wins over Central Arkansas. You know that mascot.
The Bears?
The Bears. They beat Kansas, their rival. They beat Louisiana, South Carolina, and UMass. But a close loss against Alabama by 3 set off kind of the negative, the downfall of the season. Do you hear that scratching, Hadad, or is that just me?
I do hear it.
Okay. I haven't changed anything in here. I hope that goes away. Sorry about that for those of you listening. I don't know what that is, but we'll power through. They lost to Alabama. They did beat Auburn in double overtime, if you remember that game on the road. They lost to Vanderbilt by a touchdown. So 2 of the last 3 games they lost, but they were still super close and still like, hey, Missouri, they could win out, and we'll see. They could not do that. They got beat badly by A&M at home. They did beat Mississippi State at home, ran the football like crazy that day. Lost at Oklahoma, scoring 6 points in that game, 17-6. They did beat Arkansas to close the season before losing to Virginia by a score of 13-7 in the Gator Bowl. So in their losses, at least some of their losses, they scored 10 points, 6 points, and 7 points in losses. That's just not going to get it done down the stretch. In comes Austin Simmons, the Ole Miss transfer, to lead Missouri. They also brought in Caden Lee from Ole Miss, and they still have Ahmad Hardy, the super elite running back. That was awesome for them last season. Obviously, you guys know the story. He was a bystander in a shooting, and he got hit and will miss possibly sometime this season, although how much time is currently unclear. They open on Thursday night, September the 3rd, with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Quick, name that mascot.
Pine Bluff for the Jaguars?
The Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Then they go to Kansas on a Friday night, September 11th, in a game that is known as
Missouri-Kansas, with the border war.
It is no longer the border war because we can't call it a war.
Oh, my God. It's the border war.
Because everything
I don't even care what the real name is.
It's now
irrelevant.
The border showdown instead of the border war because, oh, no, can't call it that.
Lame.
They host Troy before going to Mississippi State in Week 4. Host Florida and A&M before going to Oxford. Have an off week, go to Arkansas, host A&M, go to Georgia, host Kentucky and Oklahoma to end the season. So a pretty difficult schedule for Austin Simmons and his Missouri Tigers.
It's just about Ahmad Hardy getting back. And the sooner he's back, the sooner they can be taken seriously. Until he gets back, it's going to be a straight. Although I think Jamal Roberts is a good back, I still believe in Austin Simmons. We shall see what the Missouri Tigers are. I reached out to a friend for this one. I got a guy in Missouri. Our good friend has been on the show many times. Callum McAndrew covers the Tigers for the Columbia Tribune. I said it very simply. What's the best restaurant in Columbia? He agreed with TripAdvisor. It's Murray's, Murrys. I got to be honest with you. Like, you look at their menu, it's like, okay, they got some interesting stuff. I've never seen sardines and crackers on a menu, I'll be honest with you. But you can get it at Murray's. They got steaks, they got sandwiches, they got pasta. What stood out to me was this, Borkey. They got 25 items on the dessert menu.
It's a good bit.
Now, it says our desserts rotate nightly. This is a small sampling. I'm just saying, that's a lot of options for dessert. When we're talking about a pistachio cheesecake or a strawberry ice cream torte or a fudge chip pie, sure, I'm interested. You got my attention. So, if you're ever in Columbia, Missouri, and you're not on a hunger strike, and you want to go get something to eat, go to Murray's and tell them that Hadad, Borkey, and Callum McAndrew sent you.
We'll be right back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Stick with us. We're in the Pearl River Resort Studio. Don't go anywhere.
In the Venable Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Tyler says they used to be indifferent on Drinkwitz and maybe even kind of like them, but after the Missouri-Auburn game last 2 seasons, I hate the man. Auburn had both wins. Tyler, an Auburn fan, by the way. And just blew the game 7 different ways to Sunday after Auburn missed like 3 field goals and Missouri won in OT last year. Drink, dance, and celebrated like he won the Super Bowl. I was like, yep, I hate him.
Sounds like Doc Holliday. Now I really hate him.
There is a little bit of forced enthusiasm with Drinkwitz. Getting into it with the Mississippi State players a couple years ago, I thought was odd. Pretty bad, quote about, if you don't shut up, I'm going to score another one on you. Like, I get that, but also, why are you jawing with players as the head coach? When you're winning a game, I don't know. That always makes me feel weird. I don't think that coaches should engage in that personally. You shouldn't let a player be able to rage bait you.
Right.
Like Shane Beamer lets coaches get in his head too easily. My gosh, Lane Kiffin got in his head so easily. Brett Bielema got in his head so easily. That's concerning. I can't decide what I think about him. I know he's doing a pretty good job. But
he's a good coach. He's gotten Missouri into a consistent winning program. They in an expanded playoff, they would have been in at least 2 of them at this point. He's a good coach. Now we got to see what this year brings, but yeah, I don't think you can argue that the guy's a good football coach at this point. Is he a weirdo? Yeah. That's fine though. Plenty of weirdos as long as they're winning games. Nobody cares. He's a much more likable weirdo than Lane Kiffin is. Like if you're tiering weirdos. Kiffin way ahead of where.
Have you seen the teases of what's going to air on Marty and McGee on the SEC Network tonight? More one-on-one conversation about why Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss. It's like, all right, guys, okay.
Didn't they learn their lesson?
You would think so.
If anybody was like, we're not going to try to humanize Lane Kiffin, it would be those 2 guys.
And in the teaser, apparently they ask him, like, what was up with that? Like, why did you act that way? And, look, man, it happened, and everybody has their mind made up. I don't know why Lane continues to entertain that stuff, to be honest with you, because you're not changing anybody's mind, man. You did what you did. There's nothing you can say at this point that's going to make Ole Miss people like you. I'm sorry. Yeah. You lied about getting run off the road. You trolled the fans. All that. They've got their minds made up. Nobody's changing their mind about you. It's not going to work. So I don't understand why Marty and McGee are doing that. I don't understand why he's just like nobody's mind's changing. Just let it be a thing that happened. Why do you have to relitigate that again?
Yeah.
Nobody's mind's changing. But I can't believe the SEC Network's airing that as to what you're mentioning. I mean, you kind of fell for it. You're falling for it again.
Yeah,
put the ribbon on.
The caller's coming from inside the house, guys. Like, what are we doing here? And yeah, Marty is correct. Like Marty, our texter. Lane is ratings gold, right? People will consume content that Lane Kiffin gives them.
I guess.
No, there's no guess. You know that it's true.
But if it's the same thing again, it's the same thing.
He'll find something to talk about. He'll make it unique somehow. That's just what he does.
Bo wants to know what's more likely at the end of the year. Ole Miss says they let the wrong quarterback walk, or LSU says they took the wrong coach. Well, on no planet did Ole Miss let the wrong quarterback walk. On no planet.
It would be really weird if somehow Simmons has an unbelievable season and at the same time Chambliss is bad.
Well, even if he does, I mean, there's on no planet did they make the wrong decision.
Right.
And you even with the benefit of hindsight,
with the information you had at the moment, you had to make the right decision.
Yes, there's no other way around that. But. It's like burning a bridge and asking why no one's coming across. I just other stuff involved, like training camp stuff. Sure, whatever his press conferences, I get that. Whenever, he's back on Twitter because the fake dog is tweeting. Whenever he stops pretending that he's a fake dog and starts being himself again on social media, that's entertaining, right? That gets the clicks. But
oh my gosh, the fake dog.
Yeah, you spend so much time at media days talking about I'm off social media, but the fake dog certainly
not. The fake dog is still very much on social media.
I won't watch, and I don't.
We got to clean up that verbiage. The dog is not.
The dog is real.
The dog exists.
Not in his home.
It's not his dog.
And also, the dog is clearly not using social media.
I mean,
it is.
If I had a dog that could tweet, I would not be a football coach. I obviously would go around like, hey, look at my typing dog. Like I'd be like using him as a circus attraction.
601-879-4395. John David Baker spoke for the first time as offensive coordinator at Ole Miss. You'll hear that. You'll also hear Kamario Taylor coming up in the next hour as well. Sports Talk Mississippi. After the news, we'll get to your college football fix.
Every time I look around, every time I look around, every time I look around, it's in my face.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Boom! Are you ready for some football?
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Hour number 3, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you. It's just after 5 o'clock. You know what time it is.
The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford tough. That's the best-selling truck in America. Ford F-150. You're in the market right now. You're thinking it's time to buy a new truck. Don't waste anybody's precious time, most of all your own. Go visit your local Mississippi Ford dealers today. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Training camp is back, and coaches and players talking is back as well. John David Baker, the new offensive coordinator, but familiar to Ole Miss. He was the tight ends coach a few years ago before going off to East Carolina to be the OC there, and then Pete Golding brings him back to run his offense. He spoke to the media today for possibly, I think it's the only time this year, not real clear on that, but I think Pete Golding's going to be consistent with what Saban and Kiffin and coaches he's worked under do. Anyway, so this might be the only time you hear from the OC this year, and here's some of what he had to say right now.
For you, how beneficial was it coming in to have Joe Judge and Trinidad and that relationship they had just in terms of what you wanted to add to this offense?
No, it was, obviously huge. I know Trinidad, the most important piece to be back. But obviously, Coach Judge, just their relationship is huge, but also just it was a great bridge for me to kind of figure out what I'd missed the last 2 years. Obviously, we went somewhere else for a couple years, and we did different things, added new wrinkles just like they did here. And so it was great for me to be around, during the playoffs and kind of learned some of it, but also over the last few months, it's just understanding different things that they've added that Trinidad likes, because that's the most important thing. If Trinidad likes it, then I like it, because it's got a great chance to work. So it was huge, but obviously just being in it with them for now, whatever it is, 8 months, 9 months, it's been very beneficial.
Pete has said that part of why he brought you back was didn't want to reinvent the wheel with what they do offensively here because it's been so successful. I guess, how do you balance wanting to maintain what Charlie and Lane did offensively with putting your own stamp on things?
Yeah, I don't think it's so much putting my stamp on things. It's more so like we've been very successful here over the last 5-6 years because we've understood, okay, what are our pieces, and then using those guys the right way. While also sticking to the core things that we believe in. And so the offense is the offense. Like the day one install, whatever it is, like it has not changed a lot over time. It's been more so, okay, from year to year, 2021, okay, you got an elite quarterback, you got a stable of running backs, and you've got 1, maybe 2 really good receivers. Okay, work with those pieces. And then it's just changed every year from there. And so for me, it's not necessarily putting my stamp on things. I want us to have an identity, right? I want us to be able to, play with good pace. I want us to run the football effectively, be physical at the point of attack, all those things. I want to be explosive. But at the end of the day, it's about every year finding who our pieces are, and then, finding the packages of how to use them and put them in situations to be successful. That's what I think it more so is. But also understanding, like, you got to figure out exactly what that looks like without trying to force certain things on it. Because there's a lot of concepts, like I said a second ago, there's a lot of concepts that I like, but it doesn't matter if I like it. It's can our players execute it? Does our quarterback like it?
What are some things that have stood out to you now that things are starting to get underway in the fall? We got a really good team. Like, we're obviously extremely talented, but we got a lot of good dudes in the building. And you've heard Coach Golding say that's his number one deal: be a good dude. And we got a lot of those, and so it's enjoyable. That's the thing I've noticed the most. Like, I enjoy coming to the building every day. Obviously, we got a great staff, but we got a great team as far as people that love football, that want to be around, that want to learn. That's the thing that I've taken the most. Like, obviously, we're super talented and we got a ton of potential, but the main thing is I enjoy coaching every one of our guys every day because they're eager to learn, they're eager to work.
With the background that you have in tight ends, what do you make of that tight end room this year? Obviously, losing Daquan Wright was a big piece of the offense last year. So what do you make of that room so far this year? Man, we just got a lot of different body types. We've got some more like traditional tight end body types, and Mike Smith and Brady Prescorn, your 6'5", 250, 260-pound guys. And then you've got Luke Haas, who's a Army Swiss knife, like he can do a lot of different things for you. Then you've got a Caleb Odom that has certain skill sets and can do different things. So it's a unique room. You got a lot of different pieces in there, and it's all about, like I said a second ago, figuring out how they fit, where to use them, where do they fit best. But they're doing a good job because we're putting a lot on them. I've said this over the years, forever and always, playing in this offense, the quarterback spot's obviously the most difficult. The next one in this offense is the tight end. We just put them in so many different spots. Sometimes we don't tell them exactly what to do, and they got to know by certain alignments, whatever. But those guys are doing a great job with just everything that we've put on them to this point.
I'm sure you can never have enough, but how many wide receivers do you need to have to be productive? In other words, to run your offense the way that you'd like to see it run? Yeah, it's you want at least 5 to 6 that you feel comfortable putting in the game, especially with how we play. You want to keep those guys fresh, but at the same time, I don't know that we've ever had in the season, whether here or at East Carolina, more than 3 to 4, and that's just the reality of it. And so, you'd love that, but it's also got to understand that's probably not a reality. And so you got to manage that a little bit. You got to be smart in how you practice and all that. But I don't know that there's a specific number. It's like I said, you figure out what you have, who you can trust. That to me is the biggest thing. It's not necessarily because we got 8 or 9 guys that are talented enough to play and be successful in this league. But at the end of the day, it's about
It's about trust over talent. Can I trust you to do your job? Can I trust you to do what you're supposed to do, how you're coached to do it? And so that's what we got to find, because like I said, we've got more than enough talented guys to go play. It's about the trust factor for me.
That's a little bit of what John David Baker had to say. He went for over 15 minutes. We don't have we don't have segments that are long enough to fit that, but good stuff there. If you're a State fan wondering, hey, you heard from coaches last week. Jeff Hadad speaks again Tuesday or Wednesday, you said?
He speaks tomorrow. So here's the deal with that. We've got an interview with Jeff Lebby already loaded up for tomorrow's show here in Starkville for the Not Fall Camp Tour. So we'll come back to whatever Lebby has to say Wednesday or Thursday as well.
Exactly.
So you'll hear from Coach Lebby twice this week. We're also scheduled to talk to him on Sunday after their first scrimmage. They'll be scrimmaging at Davis Wade Stadium, closed to the media and to the public. But we will hear from Coach Lebby after that. So Monday, Coach Lebby back on the show.
Yeah, we do make a conscious effort to be as balanced as possible with Coach. Press conferences on this show. Sometimes they talk more. Sometimes there's just more available than others. At times, that's just how it is. Depends on their practice week and stuff like that. But we certainly keep track of it and make sure that we can balance that as much as possible. The biggest question and answer in that whole thing was when Michael Katz asked him about putting his stamp on the offense. And is that something that you are concerned about? What about putting your stamp on the offense? And if you're an Ole Miss fan, you have got to feel really comfortable with the answer, because it was almost immediately dismissive of the concept. I don't care about my staple. I mean, I went to East Carolina. I learned some things. When I was gone, they did some new things here. While I was with the team during the playoffs, I got to figure out what those things were, and I'm going to add some wrinkles, but what I need to do is make sure that what I'm doing fits the personnel and not trying to fit the personnel into some box to run my system. And, you can hear him kind of take ownership over the last few years.
He's going to go far thinking like that. That is the correct philosophy. You can't just run your offense because it's your offense. Ask Joe Moorhead how that works out for you.
Yeah.
You've got to look at what you've got, and your system is what it is, right? You can work within your own system, but you got to find the plays that work for the players you have.
And you heard him say, I need to talk to Trinidad. What is he comfortable running? Because if he's not comfortable, then it's going to fail regardless. I'm not saying he's going to be as productive as Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr., but those quotes sounded just like them. That's the kind of stuff that they would say.
I disagree entirely. I didn't say anything like Kiffin. Kiffin would have been like, I got to talk to Trinidad. We'll see what he likes. Yeah.
From a philosophical perspective.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That was, you can tell he's coached under them, because, copy and paste. That's the kind of stuff that they would say is, if I've got better this and this, well, that's what we're going to do. And that's an encouraging thing. Not reinventing the wheel. I'm not coming in to make the offense mine. I'm coming in to make the offense work. And those are two different things. And that was good stuff. Again, we'll see if it actually works out. But if you're looking for signs, that there is a good positive sign, because the offense has been working. The style of play works, and he is a disciple of that offense. When he was at East Carolina, did a very similar style in terms of pace, and he's saying all of the right things. So we'll see if it actually materializes on the field, but the messaging is quite good. When we come back, we'll go back to the Farm Bureau guest line, sort of, and you'll hear from Kamario Taylor. Talked with the media over the weekend, and we've got that for you coming up after the break. Stick with us.
Sports Talk Mississippi, your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State.
Let me put it to you this way.
Right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
On the text line, somebody asking, wasn't he the tight ends coach, he being John David Baker, under Jeff Lebby? He was. So Lebby was at Ole Miss in 20 and 21. Baker was there in 21 under Jeff Lebby. Now, Baker stayed as the co-OC and tight ends coach for the next 2 years when Lebby left for Oklahoma. But yes, there is still the crossover between Mississippi State's head coach and Ole Miss, just like their defensive coordinator has a crossover with Ole Miss, and time is a flat circle. And
Ole Miss is trying to have a crossover with me. They keep sending my daughter just sent me. They just send her like a catalog about Ole Miss. Like, just put it in the trash. No chance. Guys, quit wasting your postage. When you see the last name, just like that, don't send that one.
Even if they have an academic program that fits what she's seeking in higher education,
that
also comes with in-state tuition.
They don't. And but more importantly, no.
You would rob your offspring.
She could go. She better be on full scholarship
of a quality education,
as full as it gets. Not a dime of my money.
Unbelievable.
That is what it is. Man's got to have a code.
Yeah, the codes including robbing your child of it. No, I'm kidding.
She's what she's interested in on this, and neither the state too. She's not going to state either.
Ooh, Alabama. Or what would be the worst option that's not Ole Miss? The worst option for your child to go to that you would be the most miserable?
LSU. Because of the family tie. My cousins, Marty in Portland would throw a party. He'd be like, "We got another one." So,
man, 601-879-4395. Kamario Taylor, the signal caller for Mississippi State, talked to the media a little bit over the weekend. As we talked about last week, and we got text on it last week, the audio quality is going to be different. It's not on our end, but we got to bring these to you because I think it's important that you hear from your players and coaches, and you got to listen in a little bit. But here is good stuff from the starting quarterback at Mississippi State.
What's it been like first 3 days of camp?
It's been very electric from both sides of the ball. A lot of competition going on in every room on the team, and just a lot of depth on the team. So everyone is still competing, everyone's still flying around, everybody trying to make plays, and there are a lot of plays that are just being made right now.
How much fun are you having with all these kind of new toys to play with in the wide receiver room?
A lot of fun. Like different variety of guys, different guys who do different things. You got you want me to go in detail? I will for you.
Sure.
You got Ant, Mr. Reliable. You got Aiden, Mr. Consistent. Frisco, Case Brady is out the roof, so he's like 100% in my eyes. Grayson, the guy who can go get it. Zion is a guy that you can't duplicate. So a lot of guys. You got Keith. Enough to be said about Keith. Everybody already knows what he do.
So tell us about Camden.
Camden K-Park. I haven't got a chance to throw to him yet, but he's going to be real special in this offense.
And you watched him run and see his full speed?
Early in the year, in the summertime when he first got here. He got here and ran 24 miles per hour, so that's fast.
Coach talked quite a bit about the depth and competition on the O-line. How are you gelling with those guys, and kind of what is your view of that competition going on in that position?
Oh, I love it. We got like 9 guys we can go plug in out there in any given moment of the game. So, it's a lot of competition in that room. We don't know who for sure is going to be the starters are. So those guys are steady competing day by day, and every last one of them are getting better.
Related to that, we talked to Cannon yesterday. What's the chemistry like between you and him now that you're the guys?
Me and Boone? Mm-hmm. Boone is the brains of the offense, and, I'm just the guy who try to manage the games. Boone gets me right, lets me know the fronts, let me know the call up fronts, let me know where they're going, who they're blocking to. I ask him all the time, what's the difference between this and that? And he always breaks it down to me in a very simple way. So I'm very thankful to have experience in it.
How do you just feel like you're developing in terms of your knowledge of the offense and what's expected of you?
I feel like I'm developing pretty straightforward. It's going to be days where I do great, going to be days I do bad. And me, I just want to stay in the middle of it and try to continue to learn as much as I can and live. So just with me being around him all the time, he's helping me develop day by day, every rep by rep. Even in the film room, rep by rep, he breaking down the tape, letting me know that I can do this better with my front shoulder, or I can key this guy to know where he's going and to know how the defense is going to rotate. So it's just a blessing for me to just get a chance to be around that and get developed by a guy like him.
Yesterday we saw a couple of big plays from Aiden. It seems like every single camp we're seeing the spectacular plays from him, and we'll see that every now and then in games. How do you see that translating this year to the field and him having the best season that he's had with his college career?
This year, Lev already told us, we got guys who can go out there and make plays, so we're going to put the ball in our playmaker's hand, let them make the plays that they make. You guys see what Aiden can do, you see what Frisco can do, you see what Ant can do, you see what Zion can do, you see what Grace can do. We got guys all over the field that can just make plays. You can throw them a screen, they can go take 10, 12 yards. That's good in our offense, because as long as you get a stop route or anything going, our offense is in flow state. So just with him just translating that to the season, I feel like he's going to be real good because he's a very experienced player. He's been at a previous school where he learned a lot, learned how to finesse, and he's just very smart, so it helps him out a lot.
How quick after a practice do you get to the tape and just start tearing yourself apart? What you see?
Literally, as soon as the film drops, I go try to evaluate and try to see what Lev will see and try to picture what would he say before he gets a chance to see me tomorrow. Tonight, it's going to be tomorrow, but other days, it's be right after practice, about 2 hours, we go back up to see a film, I already watched it, I already broke it down, and then I go into to hear from his brain, the way his brain works, it's crazy, so just with me being able to hear from his version, and with me seeing it for myself, it helps me learn.
Got time for 2 more?
When we started talking about, the connection that you have in the passing game, a lot of times we talk about the wide receivers, and we forget sometimes the tight ends are a big part of this offense. What have you seen from that group? There's no Zico this year. Sam stepping up and becoming a leader, but you have a lot of good young players in that group as well.
We do. You guys seen what Sam could do last year when he got on the field. Sam's very consistent. We got Joseph Skipworth, Zay Cotton. Y'all know what he can do. Riley Williams, Luke Hutchins. We got a young group of guys in that room right there. And then y'all can go out there and contribute. All of them like to block. All of them like to get down and dirty. And all of them can make plays when the ball is in there.
What do you see says he wants to break. Ant says he wants to break Brennan's receiving yards record. You think he can do it?
Definitely. The type of guy Andy with the ball in his hand, he's able to do that off himself.
So that is Kamario Taylor. Hey, Dad, were you there? I didn't hear any.
No handsome questions from that one. That was one I skipped. I normally don't do the player availabilities. I know. Well, I'm not the one. I don't have any articles to write, so I just catch up later. But I'll go talk to Levy. If you had played Anthony Evans from Saturday night, there were some handsome questions in that one. Best I could do.
What were the questions?
Oh, God. I asked him about being in year 2 and, are you able to not only learn but teach? Are you able to, take the guys who are in year 1 and show them the ropes a little bit? And he talked about that. And what was the other question I asked him? I don't recall what the other question was. I had 2 questions for him. Speaking of 2 questions, that's only 3 weeks away now. Did you just just get a little?
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I mean, it's just
good times.
It's really good times. We got to get to another team too, as well in the countdown.
We can do that when we come back, I'm sure. But yeah, with Kamario, I hope that you were able to hear kind of what I was talking about earlier in the show there of confidence. This is a guy who there's 2 things I like about him a lot. That he exudes confidence, and he talked about it there. The self-correction. He's not waiting on Jeff Lebby to tell him this is what you did wrong.
Yeah.
He's fixing it before those conversations happen. And that's something that's been a theme in some of these player interviews. The guys talking about we're fixing this on the fly kind of stuff. That's a good sign when you have a team that understands the mistakes they're making and can go out and correct them without having a coach have to point it out to them. Obviously, you want to take the coaching. You want the coach to be in there as well. But if you can come in and be like, all right, on this rep I did this, and so I corrected it, that's a great sign for a team that needs to play better this season.
Mm-hmm. We got this question on the text line. Ironically enough, I got texted myself a screenshot along the same lines about Xavier Harris getting cut by the Saints coming back to Ole Miss. There is somebody that does aggregation on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Labels himself a reporter. And so I am not. I am not. So, my friend said,
could Xavier Harris come back to Ole Miss?
No, it's not just if he chooses to and Ole Miss has a spot, he could return, is what this says.
Uh-huh.
So, the friend that sent it to me, he asked, like, hey, is this true? And I responded, not really. It could be, but not really. This person that is doing this, I think, is smart enough to know that it is not as simple as if he chooses to.
Well, he knows what gets clicks.
And that just spreads all of this wild speculation. You got all these people like, oh, Xavier Harris is coming back. It is not as simple as if he wants to, he can come back. There are so many more layers to that. And, again, I appreciate my buddy texting me as opposed to just running with it. But a reporter saying if he chooses to, he can come back is just BS. There's so much more to it than that. We'll be back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Just don't believe everything you see on the internet.
From the Seabrook. This is a place for crazy people. If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. 601-879-4395 is the C Spire text line. You want to be a part of the show? That is how you do it. What's up?
Nothing. I just have a thought.
I feel like you were getting a kick out of me having to deal with the fake news on Facebook earlier.
There's fake news on Facebook. Who's dealing with it? Got to get that camera more into my forehead for that, I guess. You're baiting people for engagement. You know it's not that simple. It's not that simple. For anybody that wants to come back to college with the fifth-year thing, it is not that simple. It's not just like, hey, I'm back. Yeah, if he chooses to. That is not the only hurdle. And look, maybe they can find a way to clear him if he wants to come back. Maybe they can do that. But there are hurdles that they have to jump in order to make that happen. I think if you're a college coach, and we'll get to the second team in just a minute, but I think you got to wait for all of the legalities to be done. Because the NCAA filed an appeal, and they might win that thing. I'm kind of surprised that Southern Miss brought in, not just Southern Miss, other teams are doing it as well. It's like a snip-snap thing. It's like you may bring them in, and then next week they may say, no, they got to go. Yeah. So there's just a lot there. Yeah. There's a lot there. And intentionally misleading people is... Anyway. Let's get back to the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. Team number 19. We are in the teens today. Brian Hadad, we're in the teens on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. Team number 19. We go to the swamp. The Florida Gators, they released some throwback uniforms to honor Steve Spurrier's Heisman Trophy win. They did. What do you think of those? 1966, right? What do you think of those? I like them. I do. They're all right. I think their standard uniforms are better. I miss, like when I was a kid, they were orange, the orange helmet with the Gator script, but their jerseys were orange too. Like they brought the blue jerseys out under Spurrier. Which is fine. It's fine. I like the all orange one, the orange stuff. All right, let's calm down with the "We Are the Boys from Old Florida" here. Let's let that go. That's a good fight song, though. It's a good fight song. It's a good fight song. They do it right sometimes down in Gainesville. Anyway, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is where they play. Capacity 88,548, and when it's right, it is known as one of the more difficult places to play in college football, and they have had environments that have been dangerous over the years, just not so much lately. For whatever reason, the Florida program in recent history just hasn't taken off. Really since Urban Meyer left, right? They've just had an inability to be the winner that people think that they should be since then. In steps John Sumrall. You guys know him by now. He has been a head coach for 4 seasons, 2 at Troy, 2 at Tulane. And he has coached in the conference championship game in all 4 of his seasons as a head coach. The former Kentucky linebacker spent 1 year at Ole Miss, and he is so impressive. That 1 year back in 2018, there are still people that talk about how awesome he was in his 1 year at Ole Miss. That's how impressive he is, generally speaking. Took the Florida job after they fired Billy Napier after a 4-8 season. Now they fired him
in the bye week after a conference win. That's how unhappy they were with Billy Napier. They beat LIU to open the season, then they lost to South Florida.
Did you mention who that win was against? Did you happen to do that?
I'll get there.
Okay.
And then they lost to South Florida, 18-16, the final score in that game. Just a dreadful loss for so many reasons. Mm-hmm. Then they lost at LSU by 10. Then they lost to Miami in a game where it was 26-7, but Florida was not competitive in the game at all. I mean, they weren't competitive. They were done at that point. They had an off week. A lot of people thought that he was going to get fired in that off week, but then Texas comes to town, and somehow he beats them. A tragic loss for the Longhorns.
Kept them out of the playoffs.
Kept them out of the playoffs.
Simple as that.
An inexcusable loss for Sark in that spot, considering who that Florida team was.
Yeah.
They went to College Station and lost, and a lot of people pointed to the bye week as, okay, they're going to fire him at the bye week, but then he beat Mississippi State.
I pointed to that. I 100% pointed to that. You know me, I love to fire a guy on a bye week.
And he beats Mississippi State, and he got booed off the field.
Off the field. Mississippi State lost a game to a crowd that was actively booing its team and its coach. Just like, get these bums out of here.
I'll be honest, though. Booing him off the field after a win I thought was so tacky.
I get it.
After a win?
I get it. They were tired. They were like,
I know.
And I think they were just mad. They were like, they're thinking if we had lost this game, he would for sure be gone. And here we are. We've won this game, this ugly game. They didn't know. They weren't sure.
They fire him.
Fired him anyway.
And then they play in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. And they lost by 4. They played well, but they still lost. Yeah. They lost to Kentucky. They lost at Ole Miss. And you guys remember that the Florida fans showed up with here to see our next head coach thing. Kiffin's on the field tweeting at the governor of Florida.
Oh, what a scumbag.
And he wonders why. Hold on. I don't know what this sound is.
The scratch is getting
It's
to
horrible.
Us,
But he wonders.
Stop yelling, Borkey. That's what it is.
He wonders why people didn't like the way he handled himself. You were tweeting at the governor of Florida on the field, man, as they were trying to hire you. Ultimately, though, he goes to LSU, and you guys know the rest. They lost to Tennessee, but they did beat Florida State to end the season. A horrendous loss for Mike Norvell in that spot. In steps John Sumrall, Aaron Philo, the assumed quarterback for Florida, and a renewed confidence in that team, and for good reason. They portaled well. They did a good job in roster retention despite the coaching change, and they've got a team that's...
They got some pieces.
There's a chance that they're dangerous in 2026, and they open with Florida Atlantic and Campbell. You know that mascot of the Camels of Campbell. Then they go to Auburn in Week 3. That is a huge, huge game for both
teams.
First-year head coaches.
That's a big Week 2 game.
Week 3, but
Week 3 game,
same difference. And then they host Ole Miss before going to Missouri. Host South Carolina, go to Texas, have an off week before what is now being called, because I guess Jacksonville's getting a renovation of some kind.
Yeah.
And so they're playing the Georgia game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Again, why not just play it on campus?
And it's being called the Invesco QQQ Atlanta Gridiron Classic.
Hold, please. It's actually called the Invesco QQQ. Is that like pew, pew, pew?
There's three Qs. Invesco QQQ. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes.
If I was ever a billionaire, I would come up with the most ridiculous name for my company and then buy stuff like that. Just be like, we're here at the Pimple on Your Butt Classic. Something like that. Just Pimple on Your Butt is, of course, we're a cloud security firm. Something like that. So,
and then you sponsor everything.
You sponsor everything, yeah.
After the Invesco QQQ Atlanta Gridiron Classic against Georgia, they will host Oklahoma, go to Kentucky, host Vanderbilt, and then end the season at Florida State,
where they will also end Mike Norvell's coaching career in all likelihood, assuming he's still there at that point. I'm a big believer in this team. I really do like what I think. John Sumrall is just a winner, and it's as simple as that. All right. Once again, reached out to a friend, buddy of mine who has traversed every stop in the SEC there is to make, and he gave this place his absolute highest recommendation. It's called Satchel's Pizza down in Gainesville. Very simple restaurant. pizza, calzones. They got some stuff for dessert. They've got I got to be honest with this one. So they have the Satch Pan Pizza, our unique thick pie with caramelized edges and buttery crust. Choose 3 toppings, feeds 4. It's $39. I want to see this pizza they say can feed 4 because I got bad news for them. If Brian Hadad's one of the 4, chances are it's not going to feed 4. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to eat most of that pizza by myself, and my 3 friends are going to look at me and go, what are we supposed to eat? A lot of toppings to choose from. They also do their own soda. That is a little bit of a red flag for me. I like to just be able to get a Coke Zero.
Interesting.
They don't have that. They have their own sodas. They have,
Billy likes to drink soda.
Yeah. And then from a dessert standpoint, we got some good choices here that you can get. First off, they sell bonbons. You can just buy a bonbon for $2. I like that. Cheesecake. The one that got my attention is they have a chocolate cake that's not just it's got cream cheese frosting. That's a weak spot for me. That's something I enjoy. I enjoy a cream cheese frosting on a cake. So I love pizza. I love chocolate cake. I think I would enjoy my time here. So if you're ever in Gainesville, Florida, headed to the swamp, stop by Satchel's Pizza and tell them that Borkey and Hadad sent you.
We will wrap the show with you next. You guys are telling us about how Invesco QQQ is an index fund owned by all that stuff.
Don't care. It's dumb.
It's a goofy name / everything around that game. You have a great tradition. I get there's stadium renovations. I understand that. But come on. It's goofy.
Yeah.
Even if it's apparently a very good investment for your portfolio.
It's not a very good name for a college football game.
I also don't really have one.
I have a Trapper Keeper.
We'll be back.
Here comes the thunder.
And the Venom Talk. Sports Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the grove, and to the top. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Monday. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Michael Borkey and I will be live at the Landing in Starkville, Mississippi, right in the Cotton District, to bring you stop number 2 on the Not Fall Camp Tour presented by Pearl River Resort. We'll have live guests that include Director of Athletics at Mississippi State, Zach Selman, Mississippi State head women's basketball coach, Sam Purcell. Plus, we've got interviews already lined up and ready to go with Mississippi State head football coach Jeff Lebby, Mississippi State players, tight end Sam West and safety Isaac Smith, Mississippi State head basketball coach Chris Jans, and Mississippi State head baseball coach Brian O'Connor. We've got stuff to give away. It's going to be awesome on the rooftop there at the Landing in Starkville, the second stop on the Not Fall Camp Tour presented by Pearl River Resort.
Cannot wait to hear about all that and hang out with some friends at the Landing. That'll be fun.
It's going to be a good time. What more can I say? We're in the Cotton District. We're in Mississippi, the best small town in America. And that's not just me saying that. That's a nationwide vote. And, of course, next Tuesday, the 18th, we will wrap it up. We'll be in Oxford at the library for stop number 3, the final stop on the Not Fall Camp Tour. Back at the library for this is the 3rd time we've done a remote there in the last 12 months. We've done 2 fall camp tours, not fall camp tours, and of course we had our special remote from the library for the playoff game last year. I assume all of the people I mentioned for Mississippi State, we will just have the mirror reflection at Ole Miss with some of those guys coming in to talk to us or are getting those interviews done.
We are inching closer and closer. The Hall of Fame game is beyond us.
Yeah. It's football season. What is the preseason schedule this week? What is it? When do the Saints play?
Honestly, I don't know, but I am.
Saints play. Let's see here. Saints play Saturday, August 15th. This is the first game, so this is coming Saturday against the Jaguars. First game. We have a game Thursday night. We have 5 games on Thursday. August the 13th, 5 games. Lions, Bengals, Packers, Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Chargers, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders. Step 2 of the beginning of the greatest quarterback tenure of all time with Carson Beck. We already saw everything in the first game. We know.
What the heck is ESPN Unlimited? That's apparently what the Saints game is on? No idea what that is.
I guess that's part of like the Hulu thing, or I think YouTube subscribers have it now. You should have it. You have YouTube TV, right?
I have Hulu.
What are you? Is somebody coming in?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, you should have it then. So you should be able to watch that game.
Okay.
Let me double check for you, friend. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Does Hulu have ESPN Unlimited?
I need to see it.
Yes. Hulu provides access to ESPN Unlimited through Hulu Plus live TV plans. Oh, it's an add-on. Or via the standalone Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. Do you have that? Do you have the Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Unlimited bundle?
I think so. I don't know.
Hey, you should be good then.
I don't know. I want to hear Joel Myers.
You're going to hear something. You should have it. So
no, my guy,
that as
he
well,
calls the Pelicans games, and he does the Saints preseason games.
Does YouTube TV have this? Let me see. Yes, ESPN Unlimited access is included at no extra charge for YouTube TV subscribers who already get ESPN in their base channel package. So I, too, will watch the Saints this weekend.
Yes. I wonder if Tyson will play.
Oh, probably not.
Maybe not this early.
Maybe not week 1. Week 2, week 3, we'll see. But, yeah, that's probably going to be the case. I would be surprised to see Jordan Tyson. ESPN Unlimited is the streaming app. Yeah, basically replaced ESPN Plus. So you can have a subscription to that, or if you, like I said, you've got some people, if you're YouTube, if you're a Hulu subscriber, you have that working for you. So, yes, preseason football. Full slate this weekend. I guess starting on Thursday when you look at it. Who are the Cowboys playing? We'll get that out there. Cowboys play on Saturday, August 15th as well against the Super Bowl champs, the Seahawks. And then, we're just off and running at that point as we get closer. I mean, are we 2 weeks to week 0? Is that correct? 2 weeks to week 0 of college football. College football's here. Pro football's here. It's just so beautiful. I don't know how the hell else to say it. So, Saints are on in Jackson area. Saints are on WLBT Saturday, so you can certainly check it out there. YouTube TV just got it last week through the YouTube TV app link to your profile on ESPN, saving me $30 a month. Outstanding. I will take full advantage, as you might guess. Tomorrow, as we said, in Starkville, the Not Fall Camp Tour live at the Landing, presented by Pearl River Resort. Come out and see me and Borkey if you're in the Golden Triangle area. We got some great stuff to give away. Zach Selman will be there. Sam Purcell will be there. Plus, we've got a lot of great interviews that you're going to hear if you can't make it. For Borkey and Rhino, who just slid right in there if you're watching on SuperTalk TV, I'm Hadad. We'll talk to you tomorrow live here in Starkville.
Oh, it's incredible! A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.